All right, let's crack the code on a topic that can honestly make or break your next big tech interview, low-level design. We're going to demystify this whole thing in just about 5 minutes, so you ready? Let's dive in. So you're deep in interview prep, and that system design round just feels like this huge, intimidating hurdle, doesn't it? Trust me, you're not alone. It's often the trickiest part, but what if I told you there's a secret to really nailing it?
Well, that secret is getting a solid grip on low-level design, or LLD. Seriously, think of it as the actual, detailed blueprint for your code. It's where all the abstract ideas start to become real, tangible software.
So what is it exactly? Well, LLD is all about the nitty-gritty details. We're talking about how individual classes are going to be structured, how objects will interact with each other, and what methods will do all the heavy lifting. It's that micro-level planning you do before you even think about writing production code, and it helps you build things the right way the first time.
And why should you care? Oh, because good LLD is what separates okay code from amazing code. It's the magic that turns those big system ideas into actual code. It makes your projects a dream to maintain and scale up later, and it ensures you have a rock-solid, clean architecture. And yeah, it's the key to crushing those interviews at top tech companies.
Now, you've probably heard of high-level design, or HLD, too. It's super important to know how they're different. The easiest way to think about it is this. HLD is looking at the entire forest, while LLD is getting up close and examining each individual tree. One is the big picture, the other is all about the fine details.
Let's break that down a bit more. HLD focuses on the whole system architecture. Things like microservices, databases, and APIs. It's the kind of stuff architects work on. LLD, on the other hand, zooms right into the class level. We're focused on specific classes, their methods, their attributes. This is really for us developers, and the output is usually a detailed diagram, like a UML class diagram. So, if you want to get good at LLD, what's in your toolkit? Well, there are a few core concepts that you absolutely have to master. Let's take a quick look.
Your LLD toolkit is basically built on 4 pillars. First, a solid understanding of classes and objects. Next, applying the solid principles for clean code. Then, knowing how to use established design patterns. And finally, being able to visualize it all with UML diagrams. Think of these as your secret weapons for that interview.
Let's just quickly touch on SOLID. This is an acronym for 5 design principles that are fundamental for building software that's easy to maintain and extend over time. For example, that S stands for the single responsibility principle, which just means a class should only have one job. It makes your code so much cleaner and easier to debug. We won't cover all 5 right now, but trust me, mastering them is a game changer for good LLD.
Next up, design patterns. Now, these aren't some scary, complex algorithms. They're just elegant, reusable solutions to problems we see over and over again in software design. Take the singleton pattern, for example. It just makes sure you only ever have one instance of a certain class, like a single connection to a database. They're like proven recipes that'll save you a ton of headache.
Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this all feel a bit more real. How would you actually use LLD to design, say, a simple online bookstore? Let's walk through it, piece by piece.
Okay, first things first, we identify our main components. We're obviously going to need a user. So we'd create a user class, and it would hold info like a user ID, name, email. You get the idea. This class represents our customer.
And of course, a bookstore needs books. So let's make a book class. This would have properties like an ISBN number, title, author, and price. Simple enough, right? This is the product our user wants to buy.
So, where do the books go before the user buys them? Well, into a cart, right? The cart class is basically just a container. Its main job is to hold a list of all the book objects that a user has decided they want.
And finally, when the user is ready to hit that buy button, we'll need an order class. This class gets created at checkout, and it would lock in all the details of the purchase, like the list of books, the final price, and the order status. But here's where the real design work comes in, connecting all these pieces. See, a user has one cart. That cart, in turn, contains multiple books. And when an order is finally placed, it's linked to a payment. You see how we're building a logical structure here? This right here is the heart and soul of low-level design.
Okay, let's bring this all back to what matters for you right now, the interview room. You've got the concepts, you've seen an example, so here is your game plan to absolutely ace that LLD question. Just follow these 5 simple steps. 1, always clarify the requirements. Ask questions, don't assume anything. 2,
Start identifying the core classes and objects, just like we did for the bookstore. 3. Define how they're all related. 4. Start thinking about which design patterns might fit well. And finally, number 5. Walk the interviewer through your design with some clean, easy-to-read pseudocode.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Low-level design isn't just some random interview hurdle. It is the craft of building good software that's built to last. It's where object-oriented programming and design patterns come together to bridge that huge gap between a cool idea and a real working product.
So now you've got the blueprint for how to think about software at a really detailed level. So I'll leave you with this question. What system are you going to design next? A parking lot system? A movie ticket app? The possibilities are endless. Just keep practicing and you'll be designing complex systems like a pro in no time.